Alrighty guys, so I am back in this video somewhere. I made a post on Instagram just basically asking people to ask me questions, you know, anything that you may have wanted to know. So someone asked what made me get a suite, and I'm very close with the principal. I had went to Martin Luther King High School, so the principal at the time was Dr. Jenkins, and I was so close to her, she allowed me to do nails in the band room. So I will be doing nails as soon as the bell rung at 3:30. I'm running because I gotta take the bus too, so I can only take one person. And my little signature look was like all the nails with acrylic, and then like your ring finger be glitter. That was the only thing I knew how to do. That was, you know, I started kind of slow, so I remember doing that and then grabbing all my stuff and then hopping on the bus, having to run all the way home. I did this in the cold, I did it when it was hot. It just was like, all right, boom. I remember going home. Eventually I started working out of someone else's home because I couldn't you know, work from home. I had one newborn brother at the time, so he couldn't really inhale those type of the chemicals and like the fumes, so couldn't work there. Then my mom, I can't remember, it's just a lot of kids in the house too, so it's just like I kind of wanted somewhere that was kind of flexible. And so my friend at the time, she also did nails too, so it was like, you know, convenient. It was just perfect. Only thing is we had to kind of switch back and forth between, you know, all right, this your client, now I gotta take my client. And she kind of was faster than me, so I kind of moved a little bit slow. And I also, you know, didn't want to take up too much, but I really thank her for that because, you know, I wouldn't have been here where I'm at either because I didn't have nowhere to do it. And we were actually doing nails off of a dresser. Like, oh my God. I remember just a dresser. And you know, a dresser, you can't put your feet up underneath the dresser. So we would be like turning our bodies, or either you open your legs like wide, and we're tall, so we could open our legs and then we just literally leaned up, and then we'll do our client nails just like that. And sometimes when she had a client and I wanted to take a client, it ain't really stop nothing. I'd be on the side of her on a dresser, but just chair to chair. I wouldn't have a dresser. I'll put my products on a dresser and then do our nails from there. So yeah, we kind of really was thugging it out. Those was really like the good days. That's when I had people coming in, and I really didn't even, I think I was doing like $20-$25 sets. So yeah, it went from there. I say not too long after that, I found out with my mom, she has already had lupus, but it got so bad, especially once COVID hit. I stopped working at the my old friend's house because, you know, COVID happened, and you know how parents were. I don't know what that family doing, and I don't know who come in and out the house, so I kind of was stuck for a couple of months. And I think back around like April, or everything really opened up in June, but my mom took a risk, and I really appreciate her because the lupus got so bad to the point where we thought that, you know, she was going to end up, you know, things were just going to happen. Things weren't going right. Everything was really just going downhill with her. It was kind of like getting bad, like very bad. But I was a little crybaby. I would say I was a little selfish then, but I understood, like, you know, okay, COVID is here, and then she has this. So her immune system is very low. We don't know what this COVID thing is capable of. I don't know what could possibly happen if someone else come in the house, you know, or if I go somewhere else. But I think my mom really noticed how much of a passion that I had for nails. So she kind of took that risk. She actually did. So she was like, you know what, this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take their temperatures at the side of the door. You are going to have them wash their hands as soon as they come in through the side door. And I started taking clients from the dining room table. So I remember having like a big old stand, kind of like the stands now at the nail salons, where, you know, they put it in front of you and the client, and we still have to wear a mask. So yeah, I remember just doing my client nails. I was going through like 7 clients a day, but I was really taking everybody's temperature. I had to be like very cautious. I even tried to do nails from outside. That really didn't work because your products, and I did not know that at the time. My top coat ended up drying all the way up. What else? It was just so much stuff was happening. So yeah, I couldn't do that. I ended up working from inside the house, and I really appreciate my mama so much. Mama, I really love you, and I will never forget. Okay. And I love my dad too, because my dad really invested in me too. For Christmas, he got me a whole nail kit, like a lot of stuff. So I really love them both for that. I love my family. Well, my auntie too, she gave me her whole kit. I love everybody, you know, during that time, like 7 months later. So I had reached my year of doing nails. I had a family trip, and I remember as soon as I came back from that family trip, I started nail classes. I had started nail classes. So the reason like I'm sharing all of this is because eventually, like for nail classes, you start needing space. I just started learning so much. So I started my nail classes, boom. After my nail classes, I ended up getting not a shop, look at me, moving into a shop. I had moved into a shop with Queen of Nails, and it was another nail tech in there. So now I'm more with ladies that do the same thing that I do, because in the other shop, I was with hairstylists, and you know, like it was kind of me. I remember restocking, doing everything. You know, if I messed up on something, I really had to just refer to YouTube or call some people that maybe that I have known. But when you move into a shop with like nail ladies, it's kind of more so you're with your crowd, basically. So that's what it felt like. But then it starts coming to a thing where everybody has goals for themselves, and I always had a goal where I always wanted my home spot. Who wouldn't want it? I called so many numbers, you guys, like so many numbers. I called so many, nobody answered. Some people did, some people didn't have things available. Or when I go to a suite or a building to go look at a space, nobody would be there. What really made me get a suite, bigger space. And now that I've worked in like a shop setting, you kind of know what you want. I wanted to really just set my own vibe. So yeah, I just want to set my own vibe. I don't really want to, be around people like that anymore. I kind of just, want me and my client and give my client that experience of professionalism, a professional setting. It's just better. So I don't know. I'm supposed to make like a pros and a cons. It's so many different things. Because sometimes I do miss like being, with females or around females, just in the shop. But really I did it because of that. And space. I do classes. I was going to turn the other room into like space for my nail classes, but I'm going to actually rent that out and put somebody in there. But yeah, so that's really like why that's what made me get a one. I just always wanted my own space, because like, why not? All right, so next question was, what steps did I take to get the suite? So when you are in the middle of purchasing a suite, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is like my process. I'm not speaking for anybody else. So I'm trying to think. Really, I just drove around. I took pictures. You have some suites that says available for retail. So that is what you want to look for. Some may say we're accepting like makeup artists, hairstylists, etc. Stuff like that. So that's what you want to look for. You don't want to look for office space. It depends on what you do though. You might be able to get away with it. I don't know. But I know me, I'm doing nails. So I can't be in an office and it's a lawyer down here or a person doing this type of paperwork or a tax thing in here, and then you just got nail monomer smell all through the hallway, so I can't be in a setting like that. If you're in the city of Detroit, Southfield has a lot. It's a great area. A lot of people are out here depending on what you do. I'm pretty sure you can go out in like Lavone, like all types of places. You really want to pay attention. There's a lot of buildings that's available too. I don't know the process for a building, but I will soon. Give me a year or two, okay? People, don't be scared. Call those numbers, leave voicemails. A lot of people have a lot of things open, but a lot of things are kind of going fast too, and there's not so many options because a lot of people were in the middle of like purchasing suites and buildings and all types of stuff. So the steps that I made, it just is really that I just kind of stayed a little bit consistent. I fell off, but then I got back consistent. Advice for anyone purchasing a suite, I think I kind of be saying that in the middle of me talking, but I would say just really pay attention to the area. That is something. The location, yeah, you want to make sure you're somewhere good, somewhere in a good environment. It just depends on you. You might want it to be around the corner from your house. You might want it to be close. You got to think you're taking that drive every day. You're putting gas in your tank. And then you also want to think like, not everybody thinks about their clients, but just kind of ask your clients, well, I'm thinking about moving here. How are you with this area? Or how well are you, how well do you know it? So it's kind of up to you. How far are you willing to drive? Yeah, because you're doing that junk every day. And baby, that tank. The pricing is another thing. I know some people are going for like $200 a week, one something. Just be careful. Don't let them kind of get off on you, because some spots that I went to look at when I went through them suites, it was some stuff that just was as tight as a closet, and they wanted $200 a week or $250 or $175. It's just like some of that stuff, if you do the math, you might as well go find you your own suite, like a whole little suite with rooms in it, because it's just like, you know, you might as well. Why cheat yourself like that? You could go get you something. Presentation, that is key too. Like, I remember going to one building, it just wasn't presentable at all. Like, even though it had nothing to really do with me, like, because when you come into my space, it's going to be set and, you know, good, and you're going to feel comfortable. However, when you're walking out and when you're going to your car, you should still feel comfortable as well. And I remember, like, when you walked outside mine, when you look up, the ceiling was just like, it looked like it's one of them ceilings. I don't know if, like, you're a kid and you jumping, and I didn't jump on the bed, my head went through the ceiling, so it kind of lifted up. It's not like a wall. Her whole thing was missing. You could see all the plugs, wires, and I'm just like, okay, that's not presentable. I don't like it. That's not for me. Some of the stuff was just chipped. It's just like, you want to make sure that whatever building you're in, they're keeping up with it, because believe it or not, those clients are going to talk about it. Like, I remember I had my clients come to me and tell me, you know, this, that. I really got complaints about bathrooms. Like, but I feel like kind of where you go, you know, when you first start school, when you go to the bathrooms are clean and stuff. But then when you have so many people going through them throughout the day, it's like we can't really control what the human, you know, are doing in these bathrooms. But that is something you want to pay attention to. Like, does the building have a cleaning lady? Or, you know, janitors, how often do they clean? You know, you want to ask the type of stuff. And in the suites, before you even do it, make sure the lights are good, make sure the outlets are good, because when I first was in here, it was like my outlets was not working, only like a few of them, but we got that down. You just want to ask all types of questions. If you're a nail tech, about the ventilation, like, what do you do? Luckily there's 2 more nail techs in here, so I kind of can ask them, you know, what do they do? Some people get it filtered. Advice again, do you want to be alone? Do you want to be with people? You got to kind of find that out for yourself. You can start in the shop kind of like I did, and then you're going to learn, like, all right, this is where I want to be. I want to be with people. Or do you want to be alone? Those are just some things to kind of ask yourself. That's really it. And then just advice, like I always tell people, just stay consistent with what it is that you're doing. You don't have to rush. This isn't something that you kind of want to rush into anyways. Because you could try it, and at least you try. And if you did fail, get back up. Like, don't stop. It just may not have been your time yet. Even when it came with me doing nail classes, I remember I posted it and I didn't get a client until 3 months later. And on that third, I think that day when I wanted to delete it, I ended up getting a call. Somebody had came and was like, she was from Massachusetts. So that was my first person. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm about to, let's do it, you know? But you got to stay consistent. So I would say, like, make sure you get some clientele first. You don't want to just hop out and pop out, start doing nails. Not start doing nails, but just go get you a suite, and then you don't have no clientele coming in, and especially at like a high price. Or you can have another job. I know some people work 2 jobs. That way, you know, you still can, until you can financially, you know, cover it with doing nails, you just work a side job. So that's okay too. So like I said, really, even people who take my class, they know my word is just consistency, because that's what it is. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, you gotta do this, that. Just stay consistent. That's really it. And just, like, believe in yourself. Know that you can do anything. And I still have days where I just be down. I'm like, oh my God, did I just do this? What the heck was I thinking? Or, you know, that's yourself. You're going to have little battles, like just fighting in your head. You going back and forth. One person on this shoulder, one person on this shoulder. That's kind of how it go. So yeah, that's really like all the advice that I could give you, and really manifest. It's very important, manifesting. I wrote things on my board. I'm gonna show that clip too. So I'm the type of person, I write stuff down. I didn't put the shop on my board, where literally all my goals are kind of written down, at least for like, I think this year and next year. But your goals switch. Like, once you check one thing off, you're like, all right, next, you know, I'm ready to do something else. I kind of just keep looking at it. And when you keep reminding yourself, it was my screensaver, my home screensaver. So it's just like, I kind of kept those things around. I'm constantly looking at them. I'm constantly listening to motivational stuff before I walk out the house. I think that's like the first 10-20 minutes of you waking up is very important. What you listen to, it'll set you for your day. It'll keep your mind focused and on track. And I don't do this every day. I'm not perfect, y'all. And I think I had just a few more questions. What's your name? Kyla Monet on Instagram. I'm looking for one. I'm having a hard time finding any. So you can text me. There are a lot on Southfield Road. One off Northwestern Freeway. It's so many different, just pay attention to your surroundings. So anytime you go somewhere, Just take pictures of, if you see it says leasing like available or something like that, that's kind of what it says. And then look for retail, take pictures. I tried searching it up, Instagram too, like, but a lot of people don't post them, and there's a lot of stuff out here that we don't even know about. But if you're driving in the area, kind of find your area first and then just try to go from there. Simply Key, hey girl, how many did you see before you decided on this week? So I saw 19 of them. Somebody said, any complications / downsides to it? That is Jacayla Nashay. I hope I said your name right. Buying the suite. I mean, I don't really look at it as like downside. I mean, maybe, you coming out of way more money. Like, okay, oh my God, when you first start off. All right, so right now, for example, I'm in a space where I would say make sure that you have stacked up, right? So I have money put to the side, right? But the time too, you want to give yourself time to kind of work on your suite too. Because I've been in here, it's about to make a month in a couple of days. And I just feel like, even though I know you should kind of be slow on yourself and just don't be rushing a lot of stuff, it's still like, okay, I don't have nothing done yet. Like, I'm ready to just kind of like, I need to come on. And you need things in your suite. So make sure not only have you saved up for some of your rent, but the product, the materials that's coming in your suite, you gotta have money for that too. So that's the only thing I was like, oh my God, I wish I would have thought. I got so many things in my cart and I've ordered a lot of things, but like, have some of that. If you know it's your plan to get a suite, start ordering some of that stuff right now, just so it can be sitting down. Because I'm telling you, when that time comes, it's gonna feel like you just spending money out of, I just wish money fell off of trees right now, because it's just like so much. You gotta get this, chairs, brooms, this, dustpan. I gotta paint, I gotta do this, I gotta buy TV, I got all of that, but it's just like, it's so much stuff. But I don't really have no complications for real, or like, I don't know, I don't look at stuff as bad, at least yet. I'm only in here for a month, y'all, so maybe I could do like an update later on down the line of how it is running it. How long did it take you to get this far? Who is that? LaKayla Watson. What is this? It's about to be 2 years. January 2nd. That's gonna actually be my grand opening date too. So January 2nd. Yeah. 2 years. So it took me a minute. It did. But if you stop where you are now, you don't know how far, like how much farther you can get. So don't give up.